Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited to make this video today. So what's happening is I just picked up this learner. I met him on this Facebook group in the Edmonton area that's all just dedicated to new riders and people who have their licenses that are willing to chaperone the new riders and help them get ready for their tests, a little bit more seat time, get that practice in. So him and I have ridden together once, and just based on that first interaction, I was like, you're following all the rules, you're super confident, I think you should just go ahead and book the road test. And we're making our way over there a little bit early just so we can scope out that area and do a little bit of a practice run nearby just to get a feel for things and shake off any rust. So this is really exciting for me. It kind of takes me back to when I was learning and all of the people that volunteered their time to take me out. I was super grateful for that. So now that I have my license, I'm really looking forward to taking more people out and giving them any pointers. So as you can see here, we're doing the staggered position. Depends where you live. Here in Alberta, you're not allowed to ride right beside each other, and then if you're riding in a group, you shouldn't be riding in front of another. So this staggered position gives you that opportunity. If we run into an emergency braking situation, I could just keep going straight. I have a little bit extra room, and I'm not going to rear end him. It's always a little bit interesting for the rider at the back when changing lanes as the person in the front hugging that dotted line. The reason for that is if there's a car in his blind spot, or he's in someone's blind spot, that is, they start creeping into his lane, he has that ability to move into my lane position in front of me as an emergency route. Since I am in the staggered position, I have to swing all the way over to be here. Additionally, for learners, they actually have to be the one in front so that the chaperone can be behind them and watching and making sure that they're okay. Everyone has different skill levels and speed and the way of doing things, so you never want to make a new learner follow you because they might feel like they have to keep up and they're pushing their limits a little bit too much, and that's, in my opinion, just a recipe for a disaster. Plus, that's the law here anyways. So he's moving into this right turning lane position, amazing, hugging this curb. And then we're pretending there's a lane here where the parked cars are, signaling out. This is perfect. Some examiners actually will see if you put both feet down, because technically you should be in gear all the time, clutch in at lights and stop signs, like this one right here. Clutch in, going back down to first, complete stop. And then you use that rear brake. That's a little tip that I learned from MC Rider. The last second or so that you're coming to a complete stop, if you ease off the front brake with your right hand and you apply a little bit more pressure on the foot brake just as you're about to approach that complete stop. He's shoulder checking after doing turns because you want to pretend that the lane where the parked cars are, examiners will treat that as a lane. So you'll actually have to shoulder check, and for exams you want to exaggerate those. Exaggerate those shoulder checks, turn on your signal, and then make the lane change. For riding school, they asked us to shoulder check like religiously, and that's really stuck to me as well. Like, for example, right here, I'm going to check left, I'm going to check right, check left again, and then I'll even check right just as I'm moving. They actually love testing you through a school zone. Really depends on the day of the week as well as the time of day that you take the test. So if you have any questions, it's always a good idea to chat with the examiner. So there he is, yeah, just left foot down. Yeah, you see how he's treating this as a lane, signaling, and then shoulder checking, and then coming out. So this is actually not a school zone because of that sign. It's a 30 zone between those hours of the day. It is a weekend today, but you still have to be mindful that this is a 30 zone. I'm gonna take a left here. I check my mirrors, make sure no one's gonna rear end me. Yeah, I think he's got this. The only other piece of advice I'll let him know before the exam is before coming to a complete stop at that stop sign, I noticed it was a little bit past where the imaginary stop line would be. to consider. Oh yeah, these are perfect low speed maneuvers. It's always something that's good to practice. What they do test sometimes though is a hill start. Here in Edmonton, most of the roads are flat. So to mimic a practice hill start, you'll want to just pull over on the side of the road and then be able to hold your bike up with just your left foot down and pretty much raise your hands off the bars. So that's testing your rear brake abilities, that you're able to hold the bike in place by just having, again, that left foot down. But the key is having that right foot on that right brake and pressing down strong enough and making sure that you can hold the bike upright on a hill. If you stall, most of the time they won't even notice if you just act like nothing happened and fire your bike back up. Maybe it's a little bit more noticeable if you have a modified exhaust or something aftermarket. It depends on the examiner as well. Sometimes they will dock things like not exaggerating your shoulder checks enough. When you're following in a car behind, sometimes it's hard to see because your helmet. Technically here, I think he should be in the where I am, because you want to be guarding this lane in case people on the right of us want to merge in. And then for these turns, it's a little bit of a gray area. Sometimes they say whatever direction you're turning, you want to be closest to that line. In this case, it would be the left side. But then there's the argument that where my position is you can actually protect in case someone in this lane suddenly wants to turn left. It's a gray area, and with a lot of these gray area scenarios, it's totally fine to ask the examiners beforehand what they prefer. Yeah, so this is perfect. Lane positioning. He switched over, I shoulder checked, and I switched over. The only thing I lost marks on was over signaling. So what over signaling looks like is I was changing a lane position from, let's say here, shoulder checked to this right side, and I actually signaled and I got docked for that. The examiner said that the signal could have thrown off cars behind me thinking that I was going to turn or actually change lanes. But within lane positions, moving around within lane positions like this one here or the one on the left, if you signal for that, you can trick people, but you do want to make sure you shoulder check. So very fine details when it comes to this kind of stuff. I think that's a big reason why I love riding. It's a very analytical activity. You're coordinating so many things. Going in, signaling, that's perfect. Because yeah, this is technically 2 lanes right now where these parked cars are. He's hugging the line here in this corner and then signaling and moving out. Yeah, he is ready. Speedometers on motorcycles can have variation of up to 10%. The Honda motorcycles that I've owned, it says you're going 66. You're likely just going 60. It's better to go under the limit, obviously, because technically riding conditions are not 100% optimal most of the time, but you can get docked for going too slow. And going too slow is just, it kind of just screams that you lack confidence on the bike as well. Yeah, so I think it's always a good idea, once you figure out the specific registry you have your exam booked at, just scope out the area. And we're just riding around here. We don't know the route. You know, some people, you might be able to connect with them and they'll give you a heads up of the typical route the examiner will take you on. It's generally just a mixture of, you know, some of 60-kilometer roads like this, different lane variations, like 2 lanes like we're on right now. So he should be in the right lane position. I guess there's a little bit of grace there because he is turning left. But yeah, some people will know the routes and they'll be able to share it with you, so that way you have a little bit more preparation. In the new riders group here in Edmonton, absolutely fantastic community going on there. Let's go about the area and see if Chaperone is willing to take you to that area, maybe do some residential like this, because examiners love doing residential as well. Yeah, he's very confident, and he's riding a Suzuki Boulevard M50, it looks like. You know, that cowl on the front headlight, they really nailed it. On a motorcycle, I always want to make sure that any car behind me knows exactly what I'm doing. So I'm signaling early to let them know that I'm turning, or if that could be in the form of tapping the rear brake so that the light triggers, so that they know you're coming to a stop, to give them a heads up, and then just glance into the mirror. You can get a pretty good idea if they're paying attention, if they're looking forward, if they're looking down, they might be on their phone. I think that's a really good habit to get into. And consistently shoulder checking as well. So entering in this intersection, I know that there's no one there, but I'm going to turn my head, see if any cars just randomly creep out or someone's rushing to work. But yeah, I'm curious to know what it's like to do your exam in other countries or other parts of Canada. So please let me know in the comments below. How you feel?
Feel good.
Yeah?
I don't think I forgot my signal light once this time.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And the like hugging the curb, signaling out, shoulder checking out, that was perfect as well. There are some cases, depends on the examiner. Let's say this intersection up here, there's no painted stop line. Err on the safe side, I think, like where that imaginary stop line would be, like stop quite far behind it and then maybe inch forward a little bit after. Yeah, might as well. You have time. Keep an eye on the mirror because depending on the examiner's car, like mine was like a super slow like Kia. Don't get too far away or like bikes accelerate much faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keeping an eye out. But I think you'll be fine, man.
Decided to go for a ride.
Sounds good.
All right.
Good luck.
Thanks.
So it looks like they're done the exam. That was one of the shortest road tests I've ever witnessed. It was like 15 minutes. You always want to hang around nearby with the person that you chaperone to your test, just in case the worst case scenario they don't pass, then you can. So that sport bike, I was so surprised. I believe that was actually the examiner. I always thought that the examiner had to be in a car because they'd be like taking notes and things like that. So I don't know how they would be writing down marks and scores while you're riding a bike. I mean, the communication is easy. You just have the headset. I mean, the exam was fast. That could go both ways. Either the examiner was super chill or it was an immediate fail because of an error. I don't feel that way. My friend texted me and he said that he had missed a signal coming out of the parking lot, but he was just waiting for the results, so we'll stay tuned for that. Good? Passed?
Yep.
Well, congratulations.
It's funny, like first thing, or the headphones unplugged from my phone so I couldn't hear them, so just a second and just turn the bike off, put the kickstand down, get my phone out, fiddle with it, right? Then when we get to go, I don't know how to start my damn bike because it's in gear and the kickstand switch is
yeah, in those moments always.
And then yeah, I forgot to turn the signal light off. Coming back into the parking lot, it's the only time I did.
So that's the only thing you got dinged for?
Pretty much.
Nice. I was surprised that he was on a bike.
Yeah.
I just thought for the exam they had to like mark stuff down or something.
Yeah, actually I was wondering that too, so you must like just have to like keep a mental note. I would suck at that. I'd forget everything.
Do you want me to take a photo of the newest Class 6 member of the group?
Sure.
Okay. Nice. I'll let you go on your victory lap, but congrats, and if you want to ride again, just let me know.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for the escort and the rides. Group's amazing.
Yeah, super friendly.
Yeah. I guess it's a bit of a community, the whole riding thing, eh? Oh, so nice. So nice to get that out of the way.
Oh yeah, it's like freedom. Alright, see ya. There he goes. Alright. That was pretty productive. You know, I was pretty confident he was going to pass. I do live a little bit far from this area though, so I didn't want to take that chance of heading home and then he'd have to contact me. The way he was riding was super confident and everything was to the book. Exaggerated shoulder checks and lane positioning. Yeah, I'm super happy for him, and at the end of the day I feel really good too. We have another rider ready to hit the streets on their own. I really liked how much of an emphasis he had on safety in his riding. I'm still super shocked that the examiner was on a 1000cc Super Sport. I didn't even know that was possible, but maybe down the line I'm actually look into becoming an examiner because I'm very obsessed with the safety aspect of riding, as well as not forgetting that there's always more that you can learn. So it's been a really fun day. I'm just gonna keep riding, and yeah, until next time, if you want to see more videos like this around safety, or if you're someone in Alberta, specifically Edmonton, and you want to get your license but you just need someone to maybe keep an eye on you because they have a Class 6, or just some safety tips or exam prep, give me a shout in the comments. Or if you want to contact me directly, just send me a DM on Instagram and we can go from there. Thanks again for watching. Ride safe, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.